from the University of the Gambia, and they have a purpose that brought them here. So we should listen to them keenly, the information that you have for us. Is that clear? I guess they have something on their side, which is Edusa. Maybe possibly they will tell you the meaning of Edusa. Is that clear? So, thank you very much.
Good morning, school. Thank you very much for the warm reception. So, as our land colleague mentioned, we are students of the University of the Gambia. So we gathered here and choose your school among the schools in the area to talk to you on a very important theme, which is Tibet education. And Tibet, it means technical and vocational education and training. And we realize that this is a school that is doing very well when it comes to technical and vocational area. So here we gathered here to tell you more on Tibet education, the importance of Tibet education, the opportunities that are there for you when you want to venture in Tibet education. So all of that thing will be discussed with you, and you will also be given the opportunity to ask questions in relation to this, because I believe most of you would want to come to the university to further your education, isn't it? Yes, and to recognize the presence of Alhaji Kasama, who was the information and communications minister, my boss, that was last year. So he has his roots from this school. That shows you that this school, they have been producing talent. So we want to give you the opportunities that are there for you to explore this talent for the greater good of the nation. So without further ado, I would like to call on the leader of this nationwide tour, who is the chairperson of the tour, who goes by the name Honorable Edusa Bay, to do the opening remark. Thank you. Edusa, the floor is yours.
Good morning. How are you all? Good. Nyamina Senior Secondary School. Is it the same as Jareng Senior Secondary School?
Yes.
Wonderful. Your principal was my history teacher from grade 11 to 12, Mr. Yahya Fall. I read his book and I utilized the knowledge to pass. I got A in history. Okay, that being said, today we are not here to talk about Mr. Fall, rather to talk about the nationwide tour, the reason why we keep you here. You would have been doing different things, but thank God you had the patience to wait for us. I can see Mr. Gay around, the tallest teacher perhaps in your school. He's my classmate from primary 1 to grade 9. Yes, can we please clap for him, please? Good. I have friends. He's also my junior in the school. He had been my student at some point. So basically, this is my family. Nationwide Tour 2023, Edusa. If you can see our t-shirt, you are seeing Edusa, right? This is what we call an acronym. It's not an abbreviation, it's an acronym. This acronym here we have Edusa. Edu means education, S means student, and A means association. So we are an association in the university. In the University of the Gambia, we have over 9 schools. Among those schools is Edusa, which is over 1,000 plus students. We have been traveling all over the country. Today we are in Jareng here and we'll be heading to Jarasoma. We will have different speakers on the floor who will discuss different issues. One of them will be talking about Tibet education, the other will talk about girls' education. I am here to give you the benefit of the doubt why we are here, the theme of this program. If you look at the back of our t-shirts, you will see a word Tibet, right? Good. This word Tibet is an acronym also. It means technical, vocational, and education training. Technical, vocational, and education training. In this project, students of the Gambia, from upper basic to senior secondary school to the tertiary institutions, there is a kind of what we call a paradigm. We have gone from reading only, from ABC only, to learning technical skills, to learning jobs, to be self-employed, to be able to sustain yourself due to having a career in life. We are all here. Some of us are doctors. I can see ministers. I can see presidents. I can see lawyers around. I can see teachers. I can also see soldiers around. But how many of you will believe that with your uniform you can be a carpenter? How many of you want to be a carpenter here? You see, only one person. How many of you want to be a mechanic? Only 2 or 3. How many of you want to be a constructor? Okay. You see, this is why we are here today, to enlighten you. We need to change our mindset. Being a carpenter doesn't mean you are only going to be a small workshop. You can be the richest carpenter. You can be a carpenter that will sponsor the government. There are people who are businessmen, they sponsor the United Nations, and they have their own skills. The skills that you need for your lifelong career doesn't have to depend on academics only. You need to have skills. For example, you need to be able to do things with your own experience. We don't have time here, we have a lot of speakers. But let me ask you a question. How many of you can remember when you were in grade 7, if you are in grade 7, grade 8, 9, 10, you will see teachers will be teaching you about paramecium, inculina, amoeba, virus, bacteria. But how many of you can take a microscope and operate it to see a bacteria? How many of you? How many of you can repair a microscope?
I have never used it.
How many of you can bring in 2 batteries and produce electricity? How many of you can make a simple earpiece that you use at home? This is why our government came up with this idea of changing the education system to be able to produce individuals who will be skillful and provide what we call productive economy. An economy where individuals can work and produce things for themselves. We as Gambians, we are far behind, and our only salvation is the education system. And in the education system, we are the gem of the education system. On that note, I thank you for your kind attention, and I wish you all the best. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen.
That was the chairperson of this nationwide tour, Honorable Edusa, giving you a heads up in our topic of today. So we have a special speaker who will delve deeper into the meaning of Tibet, the opportunities. I understand that some of you are technical students, isn't it? But you need to understand that these areas that we are venturing into, there are a lot of opportunities, and you can make a decent living out of it. Remember, it is better to be self-employed than to be a dependent. So, without delving deeper into that matter, I'll allow Honorable Suleiman Baji to come here and tell you more about the area that we are studying and the opportunities that are there for you. So, Suleiman, you are welcome.
Good morning, Jareng and Senior Secondary School. How are you all? From the previous speaker, Honorable Edusa, he has already dilated on what the importance of TVET is. But already we know TVET is technical vocational educational training. And I realize that some of you are technical students. And there is a lot of opportunities in doing technical education. Now, how many of you wants to work in an office after your grade 12? If you want to work in an office, can you raise your hand? So basically, all of you wants to work in an office. But I can tell you this, if you are doing vocational education, there are a lot of opportunities. Now, do you know that these buildings, there is someone who created or who architected the sketch, the plan. There is someone who drew the plan of this building. It's a technical student. There is someone who constructed this building. It's a technical student. There is someone who placed this roof. You can be sitting comfortably in the class, having your lessons without any interruption. It's a technical student. These metal irons, they are all framed students. So therefore, being a technical student, there are so many opportunities, which I am going to list to you. One, you are going to be independent. Independent in the sense that you are not going to be working under someone's command. If you are working in an office, they will tell you that by 8 o'clock, like you are a student, 8 o'clock you must be in the school. If you are working in the office, you will start from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock. If you have your own occupation, like you are skilled, you are the boss, you are the employer, and you are the manager of your company. Therefore, anytime that you want to go to your office, that is the time you are going. You become independent. That is one. Two, the skills that are demanded in the workforce, you are going to provide it. The mechanic, the carpenter, the tailor, the constructor, all these people, all these areas are needed here. Now, for example, if you look at our work, isn't it so? Now, whatever you want to do, people will say in the Gambia, yeah, I cannot do it. We bring foreigners. Construction, we bring foreigners. Painting, we bring foreigners. Roofing, we bring foreigners. So everything about bring them. So therefore, this is also an opportunity for you. And this is not only for boys, it is across both boys and girls. If you have your own workshop, if you are the CEO of your company, that is the owner of your company, you are the boss force in the market. So if you are a technical student, this is also an opportunity. Now you also be an employer, you create jobs for people. Let's say, for example, when they are constructing this, there are people who work by day. Boys, those who go for by day, you go, you mold 10 bags of cement, they pay you $100. What is that $100 going to do for you? But if you have your skill, you can earn every day. By the end of the month, you can pay your headmaster. You can pay, if there are brothers at your home who you live with, you can pay them. At the end of the day, you become economically independent. You become the boss, you can spend, you can earn every day. All these are opportunities. The gap of skills in the market, you can preach it. The gap of the skills is very big. So we can bridge it by venturing in this technical and vocational education. Now again, from high school here, this doesn't end here. You have USET, you have GTTI, which is a technical institution, which is promoted to a university. Now it has been upgraded into a university. So from high school, you can go there. There are some other vocational skill centers. Girls, we have vocational skill centers where you can be a hairdresser, you can be the owner of a tailor. We all know tailoring nowadays, girls or women, they all want 2 days or every 3 days. If you own a tailoring workshop, you hire a tailor. At the end of the day, especially during the occasions, you know how much people spend when it comes to preparing or sewing their clothes. So if you are the owner of that workshop, how much do you think you will be earning? It's a lot of money, not so. So therefore, it is very important for you to venture in this vocational and education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Suleiman Baji, for that wonderful deliberation. I hope you get the message well. And if I should ask, do you have female technical students here?
Yes.
Yes, that is very laudable, because more often than not, we take these technical areas as an occupation for men. So, and it's very important that the women are also there to bridge the gap. Remember, he made mention of what? Some of the opportunities that are there. There's what? Initially there was GTTI, isn't it? But now it is upgraded to a university. So you can venture into USET, which is University of Science and Engineering and Science. Huh? So this area you can what? You can use your skill into an occupation, and in that you will get a decent and independent occupation, as he rightly mentioned. So without wasting more time on that, we also have another speaker who is not only a university student, but he's also a teacher in this school. He was here and he taught some of you probably, or your brothers, in the area of general science. But here we came to the realization that girls are also very important in our society. They should be at the forefront of any development. So it's important that they are educated, because they are mothers and they are the first teachers. Your first teacher is your mother. So Mr. Banding Sane will now delve much into the importance of girl child education. So Mr. Sane, you are welcome.
Good morning, my people. Good morning. I can see some of you recognize my face already, right? Yes. How do you call me here? Mr. Sane, huh? Okay, that is not very important. Now, what is important here, I mean, it's to talk to you about gender equality, talk to you about girls' education, talk to you about women and girls, issues affecting women and girls, all right? Now, I will have to come down and talk to my people. Of faults. Now you will tell me, what are the barriers affecting your education as a girl child? Just tell me one, right? Early marriage. What other thing? Teenage pregnancy. Yes. What other issues affect you in your education as a girl child? Apart from these two. Early marriage, teenage pregnancy. FGMC. FGMC, very good. You see, all these issues. Are the issues that affects women and girls in their education. Now, this is why they make sure that these challenges are address them. Give them opportunities to venture in it and realize their potential. All right? All of you to achieve quality education, you know, and I mean, address all the challenges that you face. All right? Now you understand. Address. All right. Now that is why World Bank is pushing so much money into your affairs so that your problems can be addressed. Now, if this has happened now, you will be educated. You will acquire skills that can help you in future. You will be better informed about your rights. Affecting you as a girl child. This is why your education is very important, because a better educated woman is better informed about healthcare. A better educated woman is better informed about nutrition. All right? And a better educated woman also contributes to the decision making in the family. You understand? Means your husband will listen to you. When you are educated. But when you are not educated, they don't value you at all. Very important. If you are educated also, you'll be able to earn higher incomes. And you know how men behave now. Women that earn higher income. And how many of you want? All of you. You can see previous speaker talked about life-changing skills, about TVET education. And this is why TVET is very important, because it will equip you with knowledge that you can navigate, I mean, that you can use and adapt to the changing world. All right? So that is why these skills are very important. And that is why your education is very important. That is why these two are important. Now, if you are educated, you'll be able to overcome your challenges as a girl child. If you are educated, you'll be able to earn higher incomes. If you are educated, you'll be able to contribute to the decision making in the family. And this is why our... All right? I will draw the quotation. Women can also do this. So that's why the saying goes, what a man can do, a woman can do even better. So therefore, I thank you all for your kind attention. And
thank you very much, with Mr. Banding Sam, on a very important topic here, which is what? Girl child education. Remember, educating a girl is equivalent to educating the whole world. Yes, and we understand that hindering the progress of girl child education. And some of them you already mentioned them. This is early marriage, which is teenage pregnancy that can occur if care is not taken. And also, there are cultural practices that are hindering the progress of girl child education. And those cultural practices include what? Female genital mutilation, something like that. So, females, you are not only mothers, but you are also caregivers to society. Because you should not only allow yourself to be vessels of reproduction, you should also understand that you can make a meaningful impact as far as socio-economic development is concerned. So, by now, at this moment, I want you to say something. You feel it. Before they give you comments, tell your parents that before they give you comments, they can give you books. At this stage, you have books not by price. Can I hear you say books not by price? Because you say your heart will listen to it, your heart will listen to it, you will have to afford it. So I hope you also pick it up. Here is an example school where females are also good technical and policy. You understand that you are more or less having an edge of the people as far as these problems are concerned. Because one of them, they might not be
it's a gateway through what? The CBC curriculum. If we advocate for the Tibet without having the curriculum, a competence-based curriculum, rather, it will be very difficult to achieve that Tibet. As you rightly said, we base our students' intelligence with this current curriculum based on the number of credits an individual have. I scored 5 credits, I'm a good student. Someone who scored 9 credits, I'm a good student. But has that good 9 credits yield me to be productive in the society? Based on our current curriculum, no. It's just competence based on paper, but not practicalized. How many students scored A1 in chemistry, A1 in biology, but simple techniques, simple combination in chemistry, when it comes to particles, we cannot do. Because our curriculum is centered more on academic, more on theoretical rather than practical. So the curriculum, this competence-based curriculum, is there to assist, is there to give leverage to every student. Your capabilities, that's what you specialize in. I am good at handicraft. The curriculum caters for my handicraft. He is good in biology. The curriculum caters for his biology areas and provided materials and instruments for that to be practicalized. We need to match the Western world or the subcontinent, which is Africa. Countries like Ghana, countries like Rwanda, countries like South Africa, these are emerging powers in the African continent. And looking at their curriculum is a competent-based curriculum, that their curriculum captures individual needs, individual specialists, individual qualities, that you put your quality, I put my quality, and the development that we yearn is there for everyone in this nation. And we deem it necessary to discuss with teachers. As he said, teachers are the epicenter of development. We develop the grassroots, who are the students. And we are key stakeholders. When we get to know the competence-based curriculum, work by the competence-based curriculum, then Tibet education has a leeway to prosper in our country. How many projects do we have in this country that are currently ongoing? How many governments can we count there? Few. Who are the engineers? Who are the architects? Who are that? They are mostly non-Gambians. Why? Because the workforce, our curriculum that we have, do not produce particularized ideas. We only have ideas in our minds, but we cannot practicalize it due to the curriculum that we have. But this new curriculum, which is the competence-based curriculum, is there to cater for an individual, to complement what? The Tibet education that will also enhance, give each individual the skills, practicalize the skills, then we tend to have the development that we yearn for. Just recently, Rwanda, an individual made a mobile phone. Why can't we make a mobile phone? Just this morning I read, in Uganda, they created a bus. They don't assemble. They built a bus. Assembling and building are different. You can have the parts and assemble. But building a bus itself goes beyond assembly. And Uganda are doing it. Why not Gambia? So this competence-based curriculum is there to tap those talents, to give us those leverage to be able to expand, develop as the Western world, develop as African continent and the other countries are developing. So this is why we deem it necessary to engage teachers, as we are the implementers of that particular curriculum. Curriculums are developed, but it is implemented by the teachers. And it is through the interest of the teachers that the students' interest will arise. So this is why we believe that engaging teachers within the four corners of the country will enhance and have a smooth way in adopting the new curriculum, which is to be released by MOPSI in the just near future. I believe my message will be digested and look into the possibilities that we can have development that we yearn for. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Well, this competency-based curriculum is trying to detach us from a theoretical-based learning to a practical-based learning. Now, from the shackles of colonial education, which only teaches us how to read and write. Now we are trying to venture into a more vibrant system of education that will enable our students to realize their needs and potential. Now we want to move on to our final speaker, who is going to talk to us, giving a summary of what is being said by the two speakers, and then also giving us the position of the UTG Student Union in promoting the faculty-based association within the University of the Gambia. This particular speaker couldn't be no other person but Mr. Kemo Conte, the President of the Student Union. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you so much observing the existing protocols, convincing the greeting from our colleagues, who is also said to be a native of Jareng here, Mr. Edusa, and the rest of the staff from Yamina Senior and Upper Basic, and of course my colleagues from the University of the Gambia, precisely from the School of Education. I think much has been said regarding the status quo and what we want to popularize. We understand from our basic educational standpoint that policies in our traditional context must emanate from the grassroots. That is, you tailor your policies based on the needs and the aspiration of the people, that it is going to address their plights. Sometimes we do see policies taking a dimension of a top-down approach, which sometimes do not actually address issues that are at the grassroots. Students from the School of Education have sat at the fourth corner of the classroom and they learned about these policies, the policy of TVET, the policy of curriculum-based competency. But in order to marry the theoretical understanding of these policies towards what is happening practically on the ground, there's a need to embark on this tour in order to popularize the concept. Not only that, but of course to physically survey and observe the status quo. Just a little bit of issue I want to put forward. That is, as it stands today, even the Minister of Finance in this country and the Governor of Central Bank, they completely lose hope in the economy of this country. Just a couple of weeks back, I had a discussion with these two personalities after the IMF produced their report regarding the post-COVID status of our economy and our prospect, how best we can recover. If you look at the report, it can make you to cry because hope is almost lost in the status quo of our economy. And now our central bank is thinking of increasing the interest rate in order for them to be able to adjust our revenue content. And what will that do? That will also have an implication on some of the institutions that will be giving loans to individuals. And now, the option that central bank have again is to go out and seek experts from some part of the world, precisely the United States of America, to come and revolutionize some of the systems we have in our country for productivity purposes. 2 weeks back, the Deputy Governor of Central Bank was in the United States of America to meet with a university that will come and introduce technology in our groundnut production so that our groundnuts will be accepted in the global market. Today, Gambian groundnuts that we are producing, we cannot export them to the global market because it is argued that our groundnuts are still punching below the standard of quality that the world market is asking for, precisely to say that our groundnut is infected with aflatoxin. Now we are no longer exporting groundnut in order to earn foreign exchange. Our fishing industry is completely controlled by skilled personnel that are not Gambians. Our carpentry industry is mainly Senegalese, Indians, Chinese, and other nationals. Our plumbers, the Sadawara Karabajawara Conference Center, is not built by Gambia, built by Chinese. Every sector of this country is driven by skilled personnel that are from other countries. We talked about China today, a country that has left over 300 million people out of poverty within the span of 30 years. How did they do it? They didn't do it based on read and write format of education, which is more of a colonialist format. It is tailor-made purposely for us to communicate with them because the British never want to invest more on their overseas territories, but they want to get more profits. In doing so, indirect rule system would have made them to use our own personnel by making them to work for them at a cheaper cost. But how do they facilitate that? It's through introducing an education system that will make them to communicate with them. That colonialist curriculum is the one we are evolving bit by bit, but still, the education system we have does not commensurate in meeting the needs and aspirations of our people. This is the predicament that we are in. I just told my colleague that sometimes when I look at the structures, I call them elephant projects. You can see a very big structure in one community. But what is the curriculum doing in order to commensurate the effort of the structure? Structure is one, yes, you can create an environment for people to study. An environment that is stimulating and conducive for learning. But what is important is the knowledge you are imparting. Is that meant to, in order to practically impact the life of an ordinary student in Nyamina Senior Secondary School, in Hudan Senior Secondary School, in Jabakunda Senior Secondary School, and any other school, so that we can impact societies. Without that, we are doomed. Our education system is not a solution system. It needs to be changed. And all of us must speak up. Not only Edusa, but all of us must serve as an advocate for this. Today, in the 1960s, I remember a beautiful book written by a Western intellectual to talk about the incoming collapse of the Chinese economy, saying that in the next 20-30 years, Chinese economy will collapse because they are not following the Western paradigm of development. They are not following double Rostov's models. But China tells them that no, we have our own system, and that actually embodies this Tibet system. We are going to reach to the stage of development, in which you, in fact, as Westerners, you cannot understand. And that's why when China got to a certain development stage, today the West, they could not explain their development paradigm. They call it as the Asian miracle, the Chinese miracle. How do they get that? We don't know. Then it's a miracle. So that is the point. We can have a Gambian miracle if we are able to invest in our education system. And that is attainable. Thank you, God.
Thank you. Up to be discussed. Actually, Mr. Kimo Konde, that is president of the Student Union, has actually given us a summary, but in details, we can say, for the fact that we have an education system that does not cater the needs of our students. For the fact that we have been in the circles of colonialism, even though we've attained our independence some time ago, but still we are soiling in new colonialism. That we cannot produce anything for ourselves, that we cannot do anything on our own. And in order to be able to nullify such a system, we need to venture into the field of science and technology, into the field of Tibet. And if that is not done, then we are doomed as a nation. And retrenchment in our civil service and other spaces would take place. So as teachers, as parents, and as students, we all have that responsibility in ensuring that that paradigm shift occurs in our education system. Given several references and examples, he has actually shown us, of course, that the Gambia is lagging. The Gambia is lagging in relation to modern infrastructural development. So we all have a role to play, be it at the level of a teacher, be it at the level of a minister, be it at the level of a villager. We all have a role to play so that we'll be able to prepare this space for the next generations to come. Now we want to move on to the next aspect. So there is nothing that we're going to say here that you haven't understood. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what is being given here. There is more to Tibet, there is more to competency based control. And before we move on to the side of the Tibet, we would like to invite our mother, who is not about to share the word or some words with us. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for it. And thank you, Edusa, under the leadership of my able boss, Mr. Al-Hassan Ba, and also to members of staff of Nyamina Open Senior Secondary School. Good morning to all of you. Being introduced earlier, I am Al-Hadi Kasam, a former Information and Communication Minister of this very faculty-based association, Edusa. And currently I just completed my exams and I'm on holidays waiting for the results. Like he rightly said, Tibet is a very important area of focus. I could remember some time ago the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology embarked on a validation workshop and then also embarked on the construction of Tibet institutions, technical training institutions across the country in order to move away from the current curriculum, which is the subject-based curriculum, to the competency-based curriculum, because they have realized the needs to address some of the needs and aspirations of our people in different societies across the country. So the coming of the Edusa team here, honestly speaking, I am very, very happy, and I'm very much appreciative of the impact that you people are making on the lives and livelihoods of the ordinary Ghanaians. I could remember during our time we were able to reach out to even the remotest villages in this country, and we were able to, through our recommendations that were submitted to our stakeholders, we were able to make so many impacts. Some teachers got admission to the university through these engagements, and some students also the same thing. So I think it would have been very much important if the parents also were on the ground here, because they are also very important stakeholders in terms of the advocacy and the promotion of Tibet education. Because most of the parents at home, they have a misconception about being a carpenter or being a fisherman or being a welderman. Understand? If you tell your parents that I want to become a carpenter, in fact, if you don't mind, they will force you. But these are some of the areas that they have a misconception about. And these are the areas that are driving the war. If you go to Germany today, Germany is Germany because of Tibet. You can ask any other country. Germany is Germany today, and Germany is the third largest economy in the world. But they are investing a lot on Tibet education. But in the Gambia here, these are the areas that are mostly disregarded by many, including myself. So coming up with this theme is very apt and is very timely. And on that note, I thank you all for visiting this school, and then wish you a safe journey back to Ghana.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kasama. To quote what has been said by our speakers, the significance of Tibet towards the development of our country, that we can make it with Tibet, just like Germany and other countries. Okay, and thank you so much for precisely giving that apt discussion. So we will move on to the teachers regarding what is being presented here. If you have any reactions, please you can state your name, and in case you have any position in this field, you can also state that. We're going to have at most 3 speakers from the side of the staff of this part of the school. Apart from any discussions, comments, reflections, are also welcome.
Okay, all right. My name is Mohamed Pai. I'm actually a senior teacher in this school and the head of the English department, a former student of the University of Gambia as well. So these points are very, very important, really, because the theoretical aspect of our education is not really working, to be honest. And as a result, the world has become more of a practicalized world. What you learn, you have to practice. So just supporting your point, this is really, really, really very important. And I think, but I have a concern, really. Over the years, we have been hearing descending from university everywhere, and the implementation of these concepts becomes the problem. Right? We have it beautiful on paper, well structured. At the end of the day, results are never produced. So, like, apart from my contribution, I will want to ask a question as well. What is the way forward now? Like, as far as you have made up all these plans, and how is the execution going on? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that's clear. And then we received some kind of questions from schools that we've also visited. Now, looking at it, as the SG said, you have TVET in the Gambia, and it has been here for quite a long period of time. But it has not been formalized since then. It was only informal, and then you could only send your child to someone, like an apprentice, but nothing was formalized. Now, in order to ensure that this is being implemented or is being realized, there is what we call the CBC, that is the competency-based curriculum. Then the competency-based curriculum was not there. People just advocated that there should be TVET in our system, but there wasn't anything like competency-based curriculum. Now, with the coming of this competency-based curriculum, because Ministry of Basic and Secondary realized that in order for us to implement TVET, we must have a system of learning that enholds it, that actually promotes its implementation. And that is why the CBC was designed. It was drawn from other countries, looking at the context of this country or the national character of this country. Now, the CBC will be introduced shortly. We are made to understand that by December, it will be introduced into the primary school. Certain schools will be piloted, and it will start from grade 4 then up to grade 6. So through that, we are certain that the implementation will be done. And then we understand that the implementation also cannot be done in the absence of human resources and material resources. For human and material resources, we are made to understand that the Gambia government, through the World Bank, is pumping a huge amount of money into the system to ensure that, yes, we have enough human resources and we have enough material resources to ensure the implementation is done. But that is not just everything. The Gambia government alone cannot do it. The Gambia government must depend on stakeholders, which of course includes us, the teachers, as well as parents and then students. So collectively, we would be able to implement this particular system of education, which is called TVET, with the help of a competency-based curriculum. I hope that suffices a little bit. Does anyone want to add anything onto that? Yeah, okay. Any other person?
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
I also want to contribute, but my fear is the camera.
You want to be shown? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, good morning once again. Yeah. Thank you all for your coming here. It's really educative. I know we've learned something about. And what I want to add to what you said is about TVET. Yeah, if you see the Gambia are struggling economically, it's what we brought about this morning. Any developed country or any developed continent, it's TVET that help in that development. Just look at the Gambia. The mentality, let's say in school level, because we are teaching school, and for a student, a particular student to go into a field of study, it's based on the result of the past grade 9. For instance, here we have asked a stream, technical stream, home science stream this year, and also commerce. So you'll be directed to a field based on your result. So we technical teachers, I'm not biased, I'm part of the technical teachers here. We are given garbages, okay, to recycle those garbages, which is a very, very tough thing to us. I think it's a system that needs to be changed. Look at the ministry. I don't know how. I don't know who gave them, who advised them this. There are several teachers that get allowances every end of month. These are, they call them a cause of interest. What is this telling us? To me, it makes no sense. How many years are they, familiar their money to these people? What have they done for the country? It's a system. That's what Mr. Barry is talking about. Why are you here and what's your motive behind gathering this information? They will come and they are very good in talking, but implementation is our problem. So, and thank God we are all youths here. We are not very like human here. So, as use the need to change this. The system has to be changed. Because the talking is, we have been talking since we are born. So the talking is enough now. You have to implement. And implementation is skill. Okay, sometimes I'm out of money, but I can just go out and make money outside. Yeah, but if there was no Tibet in me, I will not do that. Tibet is the only way that I continue to live. Okay, so far, so good. I just hold the break here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Actually, that is it. He has hit the nail on the head. People involved in Tibet have been stereotyped in this country. They are termed as people of less intelligence. They are termed as people, who are called laggards, who lag behind. And that should be changed. And that can only be done if we as teachers change our mindset and change the mindset of our students as well as our parents at home. So basically, we are going to put all this discussion into a comprehensive report that will be sent to our stakeholders so that they will be able to make basis of it in terms of making their policies or making decisions. So at this juncture, we would like to take a pause and then move to another school. Although we would like to prolong this discussion so that we'll be able to excavate more information from you. But we would like you to pardon us as we are behind time. Okay, so on that note, we thank you so much for according us this opportunity to have this fruitful engagement with you. Thank you so much for your attention.